Jeep Wranglers are fun vehicles. They're pretty fantastic. I love mine. As you can see, I use the hell out of it. However, there are a few things that really suck about Jeeps. For instance, their headlights. These halogen bulbs, they suck. We're going to mitigate that today, and I'm going to show you how. So aftermarket headlights for Jeeps, you can spend hours looking on what you want to do. They make HIDs, they make LEDs. You can do entire headlight replacements. You can replace just the bulbs. You can go HID or LED, just like I said. There's any number of things that you can do. The easiest and probably most simple thing to do is just get an entire replacement headlight. That's going to run you between $150 to $300. So you just replace this entire assembly. It'll have a bunch of LEDs or HIDs or whatever you choose to have in there ingrained, and a lot of them are just plug and play. You just rip this whole thing out and you just plug it into your factory wire harness. You don't want to spend that kind of money, as you can get an LED or an HID bulb setup and you're only replacing the bulb. Now, this can be a little complicated depending on what state you live in. This may or may not be illegal because of state inspections and ultimately aiming these LED bulbs. A lot of cars, especially older cars, have two bulbs. They have what they call a high and a low. High beams and low beams. Not to be confused with brights. A lot of people often call the high beams brights. Well, the way a headlight works is you have, and you can actually see this in here, you have this side of the bulb and you have the opposite side of the bulb that aims down this way. So this side would be your high beam. So it actually casts more light up into this area and reflects it into a further distance, whereas your low beams reflect light into the lower gradient of the headlight, and it doesn't blind the oncoming traffic. It reflects at a lower gradient. It's not, the light is going to be cast below people's windshield. It's not going to blind them. That's where you get your high and low beams. Well, these LEDs aren't made for that. A lot of them aren't, at least. The ones that I bought to do this video are. So just a warning, if you're going to replace the bulbs, you have to make sure of that. Otherwise, you'll either blind somebody and possibly kill them because they run off a mountain road or something, or you'll get a pretty expensive ticket. Neither of those sound fun, so we went ahead and did our research, and I'll go ahead and put my product at the end of the video that I ended up getting. Alrighty, so the way you do this is actually pretty simple. The first thing you're going to want to do is you want to clean this off. We're going to do that in a second. We're going to take a rag and just clean off this outer bulb, or outer glass shell, sorry. And then we have 6 of these little snap-on clips. You got one right here, 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 and the final one's right here. So we're going to take a screwdriver, pry each of these up, take these off, and just peel back this front grille. And then we'll have access to the headlights. Alright, so the way you do these little clips, this is probably the easiest one to get to. I just use a flathead screwdriver. They do make a legitimate real tool for this, but I'm lazy and I'm broke, so I don't own it. That's all you do. You just pop that little clip off. Oh, sometimes they like to do that. I think I just broke it too. That's alright, it happens. You want to buy, or at least keep, a lot of these little clips for replacements on hand. No, I don't think I broke that. So there you go. It's just like that. Sometimes they'll separate. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to reuse that. And you just do that, and you can already see this will just pull forward once you're done with that. So once you get all these clips done, through the power of editing, we're going to fast forward to that. Alright, so once you have this done, you can just peel this back and you get access. There you go. There's 2 clips on either side. I actually totally forgot about that. So you just pull this back and you'll hear the clip come out. There it is, right there. Where is that clip? It's right in there. Alright, so now we are completely free and we can pull our headlights out. There it is, right there. I'm going to guess that's probably like a 3. That's going to be tiny. Probably the smallest size you can get. We'll see in just a second. Get them in these. I also have one of those little wrenches, but this is quite frankly easier. You mind putting your hand down there to catch this bulb? Now the bulb. Helps to have 4 hands instead of 2. My brother is helping me with this one. I'll just very carefully pull this out. Alrighty, so once you have this headlight pried out of here, there's one technical thing that you got to do, and all you need is a flathead screwdriver. You take this little flathead screwdriver and you pry that little red clip away from you and towards the Jeep, just like so. So you're pushing it from here to up here. That's going to allow you to push this little green tab down right here. You heard it click, and then you'll be able to pull this away which is going to take both my hands regrettably. You'll be able to pull this away from the light. Thank you. Oh, there you go, it's coming. And you should be able to just pull it out like so. Now we've got a nice little yellow cloth right here. You can see our other bulbs laying on them. These bulbs don't like it when you touch them. We got oil and stuff on our hands, the dirt, the dust, debris. It's going to be bad. And on the off chance that, say, you get an LED light that doesn't work, you want to preserve these. I like keeping things in case I need them later. So this is a spare headlight. Say I don't pass inspection because there's a bulb burnout or whatever. There you go. I can go past inspection without having to pay somebody some ridiculous price for a frickin' light bulb. Here you go. So to get these out, it's pretty simple. They usually say unlock one way, whichever way it happens to be. Counterclockwise, actually. You heard my brother whispering to me. The great thing about this is you can see these little yellow dots, so that's how you put it back in. So it'll face like this. Alrighty, so this is the LED harness that we're going to use. It's made by Fluxbeam. We just looked at the right side. They're pretty bright. So we're going to go ahead and reinstall this. So now that your harness is free, you can see it's an H13, so you need the corresponding plug for that. And all you're going to do is plug that back in the way that it came. And then these only have one orientation in the bulb housing. So as you can see, one of these is bigger, this one right here, and these are slightly smaller. So it'll physically only go in one way, which is good. All right, so we're going to take our little nodes here, for lack of a better term, stick them in there, and then we'll just rotate to the right until it stops. You don't want to break them, but you want it to be all the way in, otherwise it won't sit right in there and that LED won't hit the mirrored lens specifically where it's supposed to. That'll be a problem. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're ready to reinstall. So we're going to take this puppy, we're going to peel this back in here. Like I said, sometimes it helps to have 4 hands. And we're going to, sometimes 5. Alright. And we're just going to click that right into place, just like so. And then that should be, we'll check to make sure it's all the way in, and it is. And we'll take our screwdriver like we did on the other side, and we're going to bend this little lock back down in place, which of course is really hard. Alright, should be good enough. And now we want this to sit in a place where it's going to aerate properly. These LEDs get hot. As you can see, there's a fan on it right here. So we want to make sure that none of these wires or anything is going to get in the way of this fan operating. So we're going to look down into here and notice that there's not really a good place to put these. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to come back up in here and put them up in toward this left side here. They come with zip ties, which is nice. So we'll use one of those to kind of tie it off into this left side here. And alrighty, so when you're ready, go ahead and reinstall your bolts, get all your headlights back in, and you can test them and turn them on and see if they work. Turn our lights on real quick. That looks pretty good. In fact, you can't even really see it. That's pretty awesome right there. And as you can see from this angle, only the bottom half is lit, the top half is not lit. That is what I was talking about your high and low beams. That's why they call them high and low. Now we'll turn them to the bright setting, and that top portion will be lit. See how you can see the top portion is lit too? The entire round bulb is lit. That is the difference between high and low beams. Low, high, and you can hear the LEDs running too. Yeah. Alright, well, that's a wrap for that. They're working. They need to be cleaned a little bit, but they're working. And there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video useful or helpful, or you liked it anyway, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck on the trails.